We're gonna kill every last one of you.
Ryan Coogler's Sinners is a genre-defying supernatural horror set against the rich cultural tapestry of the 1930s American South. With its moody aesthetic, intoxicating soundtrack, and Michael B. Jordan in dual roles as twin brothers caught in the chaos, Sinners isn't just a vampire movie. It's a deep dive into legacy, identity, and the horrors that lurk in the shadows of history. At the center of it all is Remmick, played by Jack O'Connell, a terrifying and oddly charismatic vampire who carries centuries of darkness in his blood. The film offers a unique blend of traditional vampire lore and fresh storytelling, grounding ancient myths in a uniquely Southern Gothic context. Welcome back to your nerdy show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master. In this video, we're breaking down exactly how vampires work in Sinners, the rules, the curse, the loopholes, and what makes Remick such a terrifying and unforgettable villain. Whether you're still reeling from that jaw-dropping post-credits scene or just trying to piece together the film's unique vampire mythology, we've got you covered. Let's sink our teeth into the undead truth behind Sinners.
Don't cry. It's all better now.
The vampires in Sinners. Familiar yet frighteningly fresh. When it comes to the vampires in Sinners, Coogler smartly leans into widely accepted conventions while adding just enough flair to make the mythology feel dangerous and new. At a glance, these vampires resemble those of Dracula fame, undead creatures who drink blood, avoid sunlight, and can only be killed under specific conditions. But look closer, and you'll find unsettling deviations. For starters, the method of spreading vampirism isn't restricted to neck bites. In fact, Remmick turns merry with a bite to the back, and Cornbread attempts to pass on the curse with a bite to Smoke's arm. It's not the location of the bite that matters, but rather the intention and the act itself. Vampires and Sinners infect through blood contact, not ceremony. This results in unexpected, chaotic moments that catch both the characters and the audience off guard. Yet while they're physically resilient, brushing off bullets and even near decapitation, the vampires in Sinners don't exhibit the fast healing abilities we've seen in other franchises. Their wounds remain, their pain lingers, and their fury grows.
We're gonna kill every last one of you.
The Trapped Soul, Sinners' unique take on undeath. Where Sinners really sets itself apart is in how it conceptualizes the vampire curse. According to Annie, the voodoo-practicing club singer played by Wunmi Mosaku, a vampire in this world doesn't lose their soul. They become imprisoned by it. Instead of becoming mindless beasts or completely soulless fiends, vampires in Sinners retain much of who they were. Their personalities, memories, and even their affections linger. This twist adds a layer of tragedy. Vampires aren't simply monsters, they're prisoners in their own flesh, cursed to live forever, without spiritual release. This human element makes encounters with turned characters far more emotional. When Smoke sees the changed Mary and Cornbread, he doesn't just face monsters, he confronts corrupted versions of people he once trusted. That psychological tension is more haunting than any jump scare.
And you are? I am. You're away.
Invitation only, a lore, staple reinforced. One of the most effective holdovers from traditional vampire mythology is the invitation rule. Vampires can't enter a private space without being invited, a trope that Sinners doesn't just include, it emphasizes. It's a clever device that's more than just a mystical rule. Because the vampires still look like themselves, the invitation rule becomes a metaphor for trust and betrayal. It's how Remick infiltrates both Bert and Joan's home, and later attempts to manipulate his way into Club Juke. The realization that Cornbread can't enter Club Juke without permission is the tipping point for Smoke and Annie, the moment when they understand what kind of evil they're up against. And in true horror fashion, the audience realizes it just moments before the characters do, making for a gut-churning sense of dread.
Why are you here?
How to Kill a Vampire in Sinner's Stakes and Sunlight, the two classic vampire killers, are still very much in play in Coogler's film. That said, Sinners makes each method feel weighty and earned. A wooden stake to the heart isn't some over-the-top explosion of gore. It's quiet, brutal, and final. Blood sprays, and the vampire dies. Not because of magic, but because their cursed heart has stopped. It's intimate, almost too intimate. Sunlight, on the other hand, is pure spectacle. When exposed, vampires don't just sizzle, they combust. Remick's final death scene, in which he's staked and then exposed to the morning sun, culminates in a flaming spiral that's both visually intense and narratively satisfying. For someone as ancient and powerful as Remmick, it takes more than one method to ensure he's really gone.
Fate.
You don't need no saving.
Yes, you do. And you are?
Remick's origins. A 600-year legacy of horror. Jack O'Connell's Remmick isn't your run-of-the-mill undead antagonist. From the moment he appears on screen, his charm is undeniable, but there's something beneath it. Something older, something European. Despite his southern drawl, Remmick's real accent and his real self slips through during a standout scene set to Rocky Road to Dublin, confirming that he's Irish. Combined with his abilities, flight, claw-like nails, glowing red eyes, and the timeline of his story, it's implied he's at least 600 years old, maybe older. What's even more chilling is how easily he navigates 1930s America. He adapts, manipulates, and destroys with a subtle efficiency that suggests he's done this countless times before. Remmick isn't just a monster, he's a force of nature that's been riding the winds of human history for centuries.
Ghosts, demons.
Immortality confirmed. The post-credits scene. If there was any doubt about whether vampires and sinners are truly immortal, the post-credits scene puts it to rest. Set in 1992, 60 years after the events at Club Juke, we see Sammy Moore, now an old celebrated blues musician, finishing a set. As he packs up, two familiar figures approach. It's Stack and Mary, looking exactly as they did in the 1930s. Time hasn't touched them, not even a wrinkle. Their immortality isn't about power or status. They're not like Remmick. They weren't ancient vampires, they were just people who were turned. And yet, as long as they avoid the sunlight and a stake to the heart, they endure. It's a subtle yet powerful moment that recontextualizes everything. It raises questions about legacy, memory, and the cost of survival. It also opens the door to potential sequels, ones that could take place in the civil rights era, the disco 70s, or even the modern day. The Soul of the South, the Heart of Horror. Sinners isn't just a horror film, it's a southern gothic epic laced with history, sorrow, and supernatural dread. Its vampires are terrifying, yes, but they're also heartbreakingly human. Their immortality is a burden, their power is a curse, and their existence is a commentary on the things that linger: hate, trauma, regret, long after death. Jack O'Connell's Remmick stands out as one of the most memorable vampire villains of the decade, but the world Coogler has built around him is equally compelling. It's a dark, rhythmic fever dream that pulses with blues, blood, and the promise of stories yet untold. Whether or not Sinners gets a sequel, it has already earned a place in the horror pantheon, not by rewriting the rules, but by reminding us why they mattered in the first place. Our nerdy thoughts. Thanks for diving into the blood-soaked lore of Sinners with us. Whether it was the haunting mythology, the soul-trapping curse, or Remmick's centuries-old terror, there's no denying Ryan Coogler crafted something unforgettable. If you found yourself as hooked by the film's gothic horror and rich backstory as we were, make sure to drop a comment with your favorite scene or theory, especially about that eerie post-credits moment. Could Stack and Mary return in a sequel? We want to hear your take. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the movies that leave us haunted long after the credits roll. Until next time, keep your stakes sharp, your blinds closed, and whatever you do, don't open the door without asking who's knocking.